Hey guys, so this morning we're gonna make it's a American IPA. It's called Sip of Sunshine, and it's about 6:30 in the morning, and getting started early. Let's see what we got. Need to get to 165.3. Where are we at? We're at about 120, a little below it. So it's been heating up for I don't know, 15 minutes. We got just over 10 gallons. It's actually right about 10 gallons because this thing is sitting on an angle. Made a mistake. I should have put this next to the table there, but like I said, this is the first time I've brewed out here like this. So I'm going to move this kettle next to the table, pump the water into the mash tun, and then I'll set the burner and the kettle back up there so that when I drain off the wort out of the mash tun, it'll go directly into the pot, and I don't have to move it again because this thing weighs like a freaking million pounds with all this water in it. And it's hot. So our strike water is at about 165.4 degrees, 166 degrees. So with the grain at about 61 degrees, it should put us at 150 degree mash temp when we mash in here in just a few minutes. I did this once and this hose came out and I was down here messing with something, freaking sprayed me across the face. About 163. That's okay, I can add a little bit of heated water to get it back to temperature. Some boiling water. I need to. Got plenty of room in this mash tun.
all the dough balls out of there. So, check this. Ooh. You need looking for here's a pH test strip. What else do we need here? Already got the thermometer out. And here's actually a pH tester. And some what do call this? Thought 2 pH stabilizer. Yeah, so first thing we'll do is we will check the current pH.
Freaking 150 on the money, Petey. Well, I just started the draining the mash tun down into the kettle, and I have right now I only dropped about a 1 degree over an hour in the mash tun, and here I have sparge water. I'm going to be doing a batch sparge. I got 5 gallons of water in there, and I'll after I drain out what's in the mash tun now, I'll fill it back up with the sparge water and let it sit for about 15 minutes, and then drain it again down into the kettle. But right now, I want to pay attention to how much water comes out of that mash tun, and kind of get an idea of what my grain absorption is like. So that's what I'm doing now. Figure it's going to take about another 5 to 10 minutes for this to drain. I want to slow it down a little bit, but yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I'm an hour from, well, about an hour. I'm about 30 minutes from the boil. So I'll tune back in when we're ready for that. All right, guys, we're into the boil here. Well, we're working up to the boil, and we're pretty close. Right now we're at about 180 degrees, and I'm sitting at about 12.5 gallons. I had about 3 gallons of absorption from the grains, and after the batch sparge, I said it was 5 gallons. It was actually about 3.5 gallons. Maybe just slightly more, but I topped off with 2.5 gallons. That put me at about 1040 specific gravity, which was significantly lower than what I wanted, but I do have 2 pounds of sugar that I'm going to add to it, corn sugar, to bring that gravity up. And of course it's going to boil down too, so that specific gravity will go up simply from that. But right now we're going to kick this into a boil. It's going to boil for 60 minutes. The hop additions that I have are Columbus at 60 minutes, 2 ounces of citrus at 20 minutes, 6 ounces at 5, 6 ounces at flame out for I believe it's a 20-minute whirlpool. Can't quite remember. I'd have to look on the sheet. But I have an additional 6 ounces that I'm going to put into the dry hop. So that'll sit for 7 days. That's after fermentation is almost done, and go from there. It's going to be pretty good, I think. I haven't done any beers with citrus, but this will be my first. So this is where we're at, and we're just waiting for it to kick into a boil, and I'll tune back in with you then.
Just a gentle rolling boil. That's hard to see. But you don't want a vigorous boil or you boil off too much. And with the amount of hops that this thing is getting, I'm going to have enough absorption that I need to save all I can. I can keep these leaves out of this kettle. Yeah, it's a little. What are you doing, Georgia? What are you doing, baby? Barking at the neighbors. So that was the 2 ounces of Columbus that I just added and the 2 pounds of corn sugar. And I had about 16.5 bricks, and I got to do the calculation for that to determine what the specific gravity is. But I'm pretty far below target from what I had hoped that I would be at. Not sure what went wrong, but we'll just roll with it, keep doing what we're doing. Hey guys, so I finished the boil, and I'm starting to transfer this into the fermenter here. But I wanted to show you this freaking hop cone. This is badass. This is why whirlpooling is so effective and such a effective, I guess, is really the only way to describe it. But look at all that hop matter that's not getting sucked up into the fermenter. That is freaking awesome. Look at all that hop matter that's left down in the bottom of this thing. I mean, that is a freaking ton of stuff. This beer had pretty large hop bill, but we got it all transferred. So let me spray this down and get this one carried inside. Ended up with 11 gallons total, so 5.5 in each one of these 7.5 gallon fast fermenters. But yeah, that's perfect, because usually I drain the collection ball twice during a fermentation. This beer might be a little bit more than twice, but that'll put me, assuming that I do only empty it twice, that'll be exactly 5 gallons. Just putting this piece of tape on here to prevent it all from splashing out when I carry it in. Tell you one thing I've noticed about these fast fermenters. I love these things. These things are great, but when you put the strap on, you got to set the strap offset so that when you carry it to wherever your brackets are, assuming that you hang it on brackets like I do, that you can actually get it on the bracket without the strap interfering. So, yeah, well, let me carry this down, and the rest of this just clean up. Yeah, it was a pretty good brew day. Started at, originally I said 6, but I think I actually got started around 7, and it's now about 11:50. So that's about a 5-hour brew day, maybe a little bit longer once I get everything cleaned up. It'll probably take me 30 minutes to clean everything up. I'm gonna fill the keg with, empty the keg of all the hop matter, and then fill it with water and PBW. I'll heat it up, clean it pretty good, and then I'll disconnect the end hose there that I used to fill the conical, and I'll blow out all the stuff that's in the pump and in the chiller, and then I'll hook it back up to the kettle, and I'll do a whirlpool essentially with heated water. I'll have the burner be on. I'll heat it up to about 180 degrees, maybe 200 degrees, and I'll just circulate that through there for, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes or so, and then I'll dump it, rinse it really well, and I may hit it with some barkeeper's friend. It'll get all these water spots and any of the imperfections or any of the marks on the stainless steel out. It'll shine it up real nice. But that's pretty much it. I appreciate you joining me. Sorry there was some skips in the steps that I did there when I was hooking up the chiller and everything. I really should have turned the camera on for that. But you know, next brew day I'll do a little bit better, and I'll bring you guys along.